Freedom is the sure possession of those alone who have the courage to defend it. What you leave behind is not what is engraved in stone monuments, but what is woven into the lives of others. Just because you do not take an interest in politics doesn't mean politics won't take an interest in you. Better die standing than lie kneeling. I am more afraid of our own mistakes than of our enemies' designs. Those who can think, but cannot express what they think, place themselves at the level of those who cannot think. We do not say that a man who takes no interest in public affairs is a man who minds his own business. We say he has no business being here at all. Our form of government does not enter into rivalry with the institutions of others. Our government does not copy our neighbors, but is an example to them. It is true that we are called a democracy, for the administration is in the hands of the many and not of the few. But while there exists equal justice to all and alike in their private disputes, the claim of excellence is also recognized, and when a citizen is in any way distinguished, he is preferred to the public service, not as a matter of privilege, but as the reward of merit. As for poverty, no one need be ashamed to admit it. The real shame is in not taking practical measures to escape from it. Those who can truly be accounted brave are those who best know the meaning of what is sweet in life and what is terrible, and then go out, undeterred, to meet what is to come. Time is the wisest counselor of all. Having knowledge but lacking the power to express it clearly is no better than never having any ideas at all. In private matters, everyone is equal before the law. In public matters, when it is a question of putting power and responsibility into the hands of one man rather than another, what counts is not rank or money, but the ability to do the job well. It is difficult to argue with the belly, for it has no ears. Future ages will wonder at us, as the present age wonders at us now. Instead of looking on discussion as a stumbling block in the way of action, we think it an indispensable preliminary to any wise action at all. Who makes the fairest show means most deceit. A woman's greatest glory is to be little talked about by men, whether for good or ill. Although only a few may originate a policy, we are all able to judge it. Famous men have the whole earth as their memorial. Wait for the wisest of all counselors, time. We do not imitate, but are a model to others. Just because you are not interested in politics does not mean that politics is not interested in you. Our love of what is beautiful does not lead to extravagance. Our love of the things of the mind does not make us soft. We regard wealth as something to be properly used, rather than as something to boast about. As for poverty, no one need be ashamed to admit it. The real shame is in not taking practical measures to escape from it. For grief is felt not so much for the want of what we have never known, as for the loss of that to which we have been long accustomed. For a man's counsel cannot have equal weight or worth, when he alone has no children to risk in the general danger. We Athenians hold that it is not poverty that is disgraceful, but the failure to struggle against it. An Athenian citizen does not neglect his state because he takes care of his own household. Even those of us who are engaged in business have a very fair idea of politics. We do not regard a man who takes no interest in public affairs as harmless. We do not say that such a man minds his own business. Rather, we say he has no business here at all. Your great glory is not to be inferior to what you have been given by nature, and the greatest glory of a woman is to be least talked about by men, whether they are praising or criticizing you. If Athens shall appear great to you, consider then that her glories were purchased by valiant men, and by men who learn their duty. Remember, too, that if your country has the greatest name in all the world, it is because she never bent before disaster, because she has expended more life and effort in war than any other city, and has won for herself a power greater than any hitherto known, the memory of which will descend to the latest posterity. Our love of what is beautiful does not lead to extravagance. Our love of the things of the mind does not make us soft. I am of opinion that national greatness is more for the advantage of private citizens than any individual well-being coupled with public humiliation. A man may be personally ever so well off, and yet if his country be ruined, he must be ruined with it, whereas a flourishing commonwealth always affords chances of salvation to unfortunate individuals. The marketplace is democratic. The whole earth is the tomb of heroic men, and their story is not given only on stone over their clay, but abides everywhere without visible symbol woven into the stuff of other men's lives. Time as he grows old teaches many lessons. Aeschylus' time is the wisest counselor of all. Not to be able to bear poverty is a shameful thing, but not to know how to chase it away by work is a more shameful thing yet. We do not need the praises of a Homer, or of anyone else whose words may delight us for the moment, but the estimation of facts will fall short of what is really true. To face calamity with a mind as unclouded as may be, and quickly to react against it, that in a city and in an individual is real strength. She is best who is least spoken of among men, whether for good or evil. Trees, though they are cut and lopped, grow up again quickly, but if men are destroyed, it is not easy to get them again. For the whole earth is the tomb of famous men. Not only are they commemorated by columns and inscriptions in their own country, but in foreign lands there dwells also an unwritten memorial of them, graven not on stone but in the hearts of men. For heroes have the whole earth for their tomb, and in lands far from their own, where the column with its epitaph declares it, there is enshrined in every breast a record unwritten with no tablet to preserve it, except that of the heart.